When I was 14 years old, I was hanging out with my buddies in Harold's Soda Shop in the little town of Mount Ida, Arkansas, where I grew up, when this guy walked in, and nobody moved. He had on this polyester uniform that looked like cardboard. I mean, there wasn't a wrinkle in this thing. And he had on these big boots. They were so shiny, I could see myself in the toes of them as he came in. And all across his chest, he had these colored ribbons. They looked like a fruit salad. And on his head was this funny looking soft green hat. And I just caught a glimpse of it as he took it off and stuffed it in his waistband as he walked in the soda shop. Now, I was in the back of the soda shop, and when that guy came in, my life changed forever. That's me. That's me right there. And then everybody around me started dying laughing. And I said to myself, holy crap, I think I just said that out loud. Because you see, instead of looking like John Wayne or John Rambo, I look more like Johnny Appleseed. And weighing in at 105 pounds soaking wet, I guess it was a pretty funny thing for those guys around me to hear that I wanted to look like that dude. But you know, for the first time in my life, I didn't care. I didn't hear that laughter. And I'd heard it before. I mean, I'd heard it when I tried out for the football team, when I tried out for the basketball team, moved to another school as a scrawny, socially awkward kid. But when I saw that guy walk in, for the first time, I figured out it doesn't matter how big you are. What matters is how big you dream. So I just went right up to him, and he was a big dude. Excuse me. Hello. Who are you? What do you do? I'm Mark. I'm Billy's older brother. I'm a Green Beret from Fort Bragg, man. Come here, I'll tell you about it. Mark proceeded to tell me all about U.S. Army Special Forces, the Green Berets. So I was hooked. I went home that night, straight to the bookshelf, pulled down Encyclopedia Britannica, and I looked up U.S. Army Special Forces. Did you know that out of 1.4 million people in the United States military, only 6,500 make it into Special Forces? That's like 1 in 3 get through the 2-year pipeline. Then I looked up the difference between Navy SEALs and Green Berets, because everybody wants to know that. Navy SEALs, it turns out, in addition to having way better hair, are some of the best in the world at coming in on a target, taking that target down, and then coming off the target. Now, Green Berets, they do some of that too, but a Green Beret specialty, what they are really good at and what they're known for, is to come in below the noise, beneath the chaos quietly, and connect at exactly the right spot with precisely the right person. Tribal chief, village elder, and then get surrounded on purpose, immersing themselves in the language, the culture, the environment. A Green Beret is like a combination of Jason Bourne, Lawrence of Arabia, and the Verizon guy. And they apply all those different skills at the local bottom-up level, and they build deep relationships. And when the relationship's just right, they help the little guy stand up against the big guy. And for me, the life I had lived as a scrawny kid, that was all I needed to know. I spent the next 10 years of my life preparing to become a Green Beret. Even when I went in the Army, though, I had to wait 5 years to try out. So I went to every possible school I could find. Airborne school, where they teach you how to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. Ranger school. I went to all of them, and I failed them all. But what I figured out as a scrawny kid growing up in one of those little logging towns is when you get knocked down, you just dust yourself back on, you dust yourself off, and you get right back in the game. And that's what I did. And I just kept going back until I wore them down. And eventually I graduated all those schools. And in October of 1996, standing on a stage in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, I had my own polyester uniform. My boots were so shiny, I could see myself in them. And I even had a fruit salad across here. And I had my own funny green hat. And I wore this Green Beret for the next 18 years of my life. Wore it to places like Colombia, Peru, Iraq, Afghanistan. And it came at a cost. I said goodbye to my wife Monty and my boys Cody, Cooper, and Braden no less than 17 times in 10 years. I lost 23 friends over a 2-decade career. Pedro Munoz, Tom Mahalik, Chris Piper, Jerry Patton, Cliff Patterson, and 18 more. But you want to know the crazy part? I'd do it all again. I would not change a single thing. Because here's the deal. Our society is in some pretty serious trouble these days. You've seen it. Walk down the street, open your eyes, look what's going on around our country and our civil society. Trust is eroding like crazy. Conflict is at an all-time high. So many of the same conditions and situations that I dealt with and learned to deal with in those dark, rough places around the world, they're right here on our doorstep or they're on their way. The reason I wouldn't trade any of that is that I ran all those miles, I built all those scars so that I'd be worthy of standing in front of you. Because in those places, I learned how to lead strong when trust is weak. And as these changes come to our country and to our society, it's that mindset and skill set that we're going to need, that leaders like you are going to need to get us through these tough times and to give our children the skills they're going to need to keep our country going forward, to keep our society going forward. That's why I founded mannup.com, and that's why I can't wait to work with you and hope that you'll join my tribe. Thanks for watching.